All right, so you're getting ready for this chemical application specialist interview, and you want to go deeper than just the surface level answers, right?
Absolutely.
We're diving into RoleCatcher's resources, their
Hmm.
career guide, the interview guide, and even how their AI can help give you an edge.
Right.
We're going to make you that candidate who doesn't just answer questions, but like anticipates them,
Yeah.
really wow the interviewer.
Let's exactly. Preparation is key. We're going to give you the tools and the knowledge to really stand out in this process.
Awesome. So first, let's just quickly define like what IS, a chemical application specialist. It's not just about missing chemicals, is it?
No, it's much more than that. Think about them as problem solvers. They're creating custom solutions for specific needs across various industries. They're making sure that these products are safe, effective, and meet all the regulations. So this could be anything from developing like a new pesticide for agriculture to even formulating a specialized coating for the automotive industry.
Okay, so let's jump right into some of these interview questions. RoleCatcher's Guide highlights 10 common questions. We're going to unpack each one. Think about what the interviewer is really trying to get at and how to craft answers that really shine.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the first one that they highlight is describe your experience with chemical application equipment, which sounds pretty straightforward, but I'm sure they're looking for more than just like a list of equipment you've used.
Right. It is a very common question, but they are trying to dig deeper. They want to see your understanding of safety protocols, maintenance procedures, your troubleshooting skills. Think about specific examples that can really showcase your expertise in these areas.
So instead of just saying, I've used sprayers and pumps.
Right, exactly. Instead of just listing the equipment, you want to tell a story. You could say, in my previous role, I was responsible for calibrating and maintaining our spray equipment. To ensure accurate and safe chemical application, I even developed a preventative maintenance checklist to minimize downtime.
So that shows you're thinking ahead. You're proactive. You're not just waiting for something to break down.
Exactly. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful. It can analyze job descriptions, pick up on keywords that highlight the specific skills that employers are looking for, and then you can tailor your answers to directly address those needs, make your responses even more impactful.
That's super smart. Okay, next question. How do you ensure chemicals are environmentally friendly? Big one these days.
Huge. This is your chance to really showcase your knowledge of regulations, sustainable practices, and alternative approaches. Do you have experience with biodegradable chemicals? Have you implemented any initiatives to reduce waste or minimize environmental impact? These are the details that are really going to make you stand out.
So it's not just about like knowing the rules. It's about showing that you're actually passionate about this.
Yes, exactly. You want to show that you're committed. You could say something like, I'm committed to minimizing the environmental impact of my work. In a previous role, I led a project to transition to biodegradable herbicides, which significantly reduced our chemical footprint.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, here's one that might throw some people off. Describe a time you had to adapt your approach due to environmental factors. What are they really trying to figure out here?
So they're really interested in your problem-solving process. How do you handle unexpected challenges? How do you think on your feet? They want to see, your thought process, how you assess the situation, the factors you consider, how you communicate with your team and stakeholders.
So like walk them through my decision making. Like, okay, we were scheduled to apply this pesticide, but heavy rainfall was forecasted. To prevent runoff, I consulted with the meteorologist and we rescheduled the application for a drier period.
Exactly. You're showing them that you can adapt, you collaborate, you prioritize safety and environmental responsibility.
Makes sense. Okay, next question. This one gets a little bit into the technical side of things. Can you explain your experience with different types of chemicals and their applications?
Right. So here's your chance to showcase both the breadth and depth of your knowledge. Think about the different chemical families you've worked with. Herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers, coatings, adhesives. Be prepared to discuss their specific properties, applications, and any safety considerations.
So for example, you could say, I have extensive experience with both organic and inorganic fertilizers. In my previous role at an agricultural company, I helped farmers select the most appropriate fertilizer based on their soil type, crop needs, and environmental conditions.
Perfect. That shows you understand the nuances of chemical selection, and you can apply that knowledge to real-world problems. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify the key chemicals and applications mentioned in the job description so you can really tailor your answer.
Super helpful. Okay, so this next one I feel like is a little bit tricky. How do you determine the appropriate amount of chemical to apply to a specific area?
Yeah, this one gets at your understanding of concentration. application rates, and even basic math. They want someone who can calculate accurately and avoid any costly mistakes.
So is it enough to just like rattle off a formula or?
No, not really. While knowing the formulas is important, what's even more important is showcasing your thought process. Explain the factors that you consider, the type of chemical, the target area, the environmental conditions, any safety margins.
Okay, so more like, first I would consult the product label and safety data sheet to determine the recommended application rate. Then I'd carefully measure the area to be treated and use a formula to calculate the precise amount of chemical needed. I would also factor in any environmental conditions such as wind speed or temperature that might affect the application.
That's a fantastic approach. You're demonstrating attention to detail safety consciousness, your understanding of all the factors that influence application rates. And again, RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify any specific calculation methods or software that might be mentioned in the job description.
Love that. Okay, let's do one more before we take a quick break. Describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem with a chemical application.
Ooh, this is where storytelling comes in. They want to hear about a specific situation, the steps you took to diagnose the problem, the solution that you implemented. Think about a time when a chemical application didn't go as planned, maybe a clogged nozzle, maybe unexpected results, equipment malfunction.
Right, and I really want to highlight those problem-solving skills.
Yes, exactly.
So instead of saying the sprayer broke and I fixed it, it would be more like, I noticed uneven coverage during a herbicide application. I systematically checked the equipment, identified a damaged nozzle, and replaced it, ensuring proper coverage while minimizing chemical waste.
Perfect. You clearly outline the diagnostic process and the solution, while also highlighting your commitment to efficiency and environmental responsibility.
Awesome. I'm loving these examples. It's making me realize how important it is to think about the why behind each question. Not just listing experiences, but showcasing the skills and mindset they're looking for.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can help you with that. Their AI analyzes hundreds of job descriptions for chemical application specialists, identifies the most common keywords and skills, and provides personalized feedback on your answers.
That is so cool. It's like having a personalized interview coach right in your pocket.
It really is. And the beauty of AI is that it's constantly learning and improving. As you use it, it gets to know your strengths and weaknesses and can provide even more tailored guidance.
Okay, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll dive into some more of these questions and explore how RoleCatcher can help you land that dream job.
Sounds good. Okay, so let's keep going with some more questions that you're likely to encounter in your chemical application specialist interview.
Also, I'm ready.
How about this one? Can you describe your experience working with a team on a chemical application project?
Okay.
Teamwork is really important in this field, so showcasing your ability to collaborate effectively is crucial.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What are some key things I should focus on when answering this question?
Highlight your role within the team. You know your communication skills, your ability to contribute to that shared goal. Think of a specific project where you had to coordinate with colleagues, share your expertise, or navigate any challenges.
So can I say something like, in my previous role, I worked on a team to develop a new pesticide formulation. I was responsible for conducting laboratory trials and analyzing the data. We held regular meetings to share progress and address any issues, and I used my knowledge of chemical interactions to suggest improvements to the formula.
That's a great example. You've clearly articulated your specific contributions to the team, highlighted your communication skills, showcased your ability to apply your knowledge to achieve that objective.
Okay, awesome. Now, what about those unexpected situations that always seem to come up?
Right.
How do I answer a question like, can you describe a time when you had to adapt your chemical application approach to accommodate specific environmental factors?
This question is all about demonstrating your adaptability and problem-solving skills under pressure. Think about those curveball moments. Maybe extreme weather conditions, unexpected soil types, even wildlife considerations. That forced you to adjust your plans on the fly.
Right, so again, it's not just about what happened, but how I handled it.
Exactly.
So instead of just saying, it was windy, so I changed the nozzle, I might say something like, we were scheduled to apply a fungicide, but strong winds threatened to carry the spray off target to protect nearby crops and minimize drift. I opted for a low drift nozzle and adjusted the spray pressure to ensure accurate application.
Perfect. You've identified the solution you implemented and the positive outcome. You've demonstrated your quick thinking, your commitment to responsible application.
This is super helpful. Feel much more prepared to handle those tricky situational questions.
Good.
Okay, what else do we have?
Let's move on to a question that really probes your technical expertise. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem with chemical application equipment? This is where your understanding of equipment maintenance and safety protocols really shines.
Okay, so they're looking for someone who's not just proficient with the equipment,
Yeah,
but also able to handle problems quickly and safely.
precisely. Think about a time when maybe a sprayer malfunctioned, a pump failed, or you faced any other equipment-related challenge. Walk them through your process for identifying the issue, taking any necessary precautions, and implementing that solution.
So instead of saying, the pump stopped working, so I called maintenance, I could say something like, during a fertilizer application, I noticed a pressure drop in the spray system. I immediately shut down the equipment, inspected the lines, and identified a leak. I repaired the leak and carefully restarted the system, ensuring no chemical spills occurred.
That's a great example. You demonstrated your quick thinking, problem-solving skills, your commitment to safety. You also showed your ability to work independently and take initiative, which are very valuable qualities.
This is making me realize how important it is to think about the why behind the question. It's not just about listing experiences, but showcasing the skills and mindset they're looking for.
Exactly. And that's where RoleCatcher's AI can be so valuable. It can analyze, hundreds of job descriptions for chemical application specialist roles, identify the most common keywords and skills, and provide personalized feedback on your answers, helping you tailor them to specific companies and positions.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's like having a personalized interview coach in my pocket.
It really is. And the beauty of AI is it's constantly learning and improving. As you use RoleCatcher, it gets to know, your strengths, your weaknesses, and
Okay.
can provide even more tailored guidance.
That's awesome. Okay, before we move on, I'm curious about the career guide you mentioned earlier. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So RoleCatcher's career guide provides valuable insights into the different stages of a chemical application specialist's career. From junior to senior levels, it outlines the typical responsibilities and provides example profiles of individuals at each stage.
So it's like a roadmap for my career,
Yeah,
showing potential paths and milestones.
exactly. For instance, a junior chemical application specialist might focus on assisting with product development, data collection, and learning from more senior colleagues. As they gain experience, they move into developing and optimizing formulations independently, providing technical support, and ensuring compliance with regulations.
And what about a senior chemical application specialist? What does that look like?
They take on more leadership responsibilities, like leading product development, designing experiments, mentoring junior specialists, collaborating with cross-functional teams, even conducting market research to identify new opportunities. So they're really the strategic thinkers and innovators driving the field forward.
Wow, that's inspiring. It shows there's real growth potential in this career path.
Absolutely, and RoleCatcher helps you map out that journey and highlight the skills needed at each level. Plus, they emphasize continuous learning, encouraging you to pursue advanced degrees, certifications, workshops, even research projects to stay ahead of the curve.
This is also helpful. I feel much more prepared to not only ace the interview, but also think about my long-term career goals.
That's great to hear.
Okay, I'm sure there's more to come. So let's keep going with this deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground on interview questions and all the great resources that RoleCatcher has.
Yeah,
But before we wrap up, I want to touch on another important aspect of interview prep: compliance and safety.
absolutely. That's a great point. It comes up a lot. And interviewers want to see that you prioritize it.
So how would I approach a question like, how do you ensure that your chemical application practices are compliant with all relevant regulations and safety protocols?
Okay, so with this one, they're really looking for someone who understands the legal and ethical implications of chemical application and takes those proactive steps to ensure compliance. You really want to showcase your knowledge of local, state, and federal regulations, as well as any internal safety protocols that your previous employers may have had.
So I could say something like, I prioritize safety and compliance in every aspect of my work. I regularly review and stay updated on all relevant regulations and safety guidelines. I meticulously maintain records of chemical usage, application rates, and disposal procedures. I also actively participate in safety training programs and encourage my colleagues to do the same.
Perfect. You've conveyed your commitment to compliance, highlighted your proactive approach, and emphasized the importance of staying informed.
Okay, so it feels like we've covered like almost every question they could possibly throw at me. Is there anything else I should keep in mind as I prepare?
Remember, the interview is a two-way street. It's not just about answering their questions, but also asking insightful questions of your own.
Yeah, good point. What kind of questions would really impress them?
Think about questions that show you've done your research. and are thinking beyond the immediate role. For example, you could ask about the company's sustainability initiatives, their vision for the future of chemical applications, or maybe any challenges they're facing in the industry.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of turns the interview into more of a conversation
Right.
and lets me show off my knowledge and my curiosity. It's also a chance for me to see if the company's values align with my own.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of RoleCatcher's AI here. It can analyze the company's website, news articles, social media to give you those insights into their culture, their priorities, current projects, helping you craft even more targeted and relevant questions.
Wow, it really is like a comprehensive tool for every stage of the interview process.
It is. And remember, the key is to be authentic, be enthusiastic, and really showcase your passion for this field.
This deep dive has been so insightful. I feel so much more confident and prepared to tackle my chemical application specialist interview. Thanks for walking me through all these questions, the strategies, and all the great resources available through RoleCatcher.
It was my pleasure. Remember, preparation breeds confidence. And with the right tools and mindset, you can make a lasting impression and land that dream job. Good luck.
Thank you. And to all our listeners out there, remember, the best candidates aren't just answering questions. They're sparking curiosity. They're showing their genuine interest in the field. So do your research. Use the amazing resources out there like RoleCatcher. And go ace that interview.